Okay, now we move on to the finance buy section. I've stayed with the same sheet. I've added text and numbers. That's all I've done. So if you haven't already got this information, stop the recording now and catch up. Okay, what I'm actually going to do is just highlight that and move that down a couple. So just highlight and drag down from the edge. Now the finance buy, I'm going to highlight that. So from the menu I can just Control B. That'll serve that purpose for me. I'm going to do the same with long-term liabilities, share capital, because these are parts of the spreadsheet that I want to highlight. Now the long-term liabilities, as explained in the unit, are money borrowed by the company over a long period of time, which really means more than a year. So in this cell here, I'm going to ask the computer to add those figures. So using the auto sum, I highlight those two cells, and I get the figures in. But what I do is just have a look at the formula up there, and you'll see that the formula has been written in as equal to the sum and open bracket K6 through to K7. Now I want to do a similar thing with the shareholders' funds. Now here we have 30,000 shares issued and paid, giving a nominal value of 30,000, and a profit and loss I've typed in as a number. You can tell from that it's just been typed in from the formula line. I want to add those two figures together, which I'm now going to do using auto sum. Ask computer to add those figures together. So click on auto sum, press enter, and it's worked out for us. Now the final figure that I want to put into cell M, in my case M17. Looking at the top left screen, you can see it's M17. Will be equal to, press it, equal, this figure in M7 plus the figure in M15, equal. Now, it doesn't add up. So I asked myself why. Let's have a closer look. Remember from the unit, the bank loan was actually 10,000, not 1,000. So let's correct that figure. And now it adds up. It's really important that you make sure that the net capital employed is the same figure as the total finance buy, because what this figure here shows is how the net capital employed is actually paid for. Now I'm just going to highlight all the numbers, right click on my mouse, choose the format option, format cells, and choosing the number I'm going to set the currency US dollars, 0 decimal places. And we do a little bit of tidying up. But I'm actually going to block all that in. Okay, right click, format the cells, set the border, a thick border, and outline those cells. Okay, now the balance sheet shows the status of a business at one single point in time. So the balance sheet should technically read balance sheet as at, and then a date. I'm going to set my date as the 31st of December year 2015. I'm going to highlight the whole of the top over there and click on merge and center twice. And I think that will do for finance by. And we'll move on to the next section and we'll do some simple analysis of that, and then we maybe make some changes. Okay, so make absolutely sure that before you move on you've understood how we have arrived at the net capital employed, which is fixed assets plus total current assets less total current liabilities. That gives the net capital employed, and that is financed by long-term liabilities, which is long-term money borrowed, and shareholders' funds, which the owners own, and we have a balance sheet that balances. Now what I'm going to do is just this little extra. If these figures are not the same, then maybe we can highlight them. Now up here we've got conditional formatting. So what I'm going to do is up conditional formatting. I'm going to highlight the cells. If it equals this figure down here, okay, and look at the box, if it equals that figure there, and let's put the figure in green. I'll repeat that, because this time if it doesn't equal, let's have the figure in the cell in red. So conditional formatting for that cell. Highlight the cells. Right. If it's greater than the value of this cell, then we'll highlight it in red. If it's greater, and also exactly the same, if it's less than this figure here, we'll also highlight it in red. Now let's go back and see what happens when I put that 1,000 back. Okay, immediately this cell is red, indicating that there's something wrong. Let's put 10,000 back. Now let's go back over here and let's suppose that we make a mistake with the inventory and simply leave it out. The figures will fail to balance and our total is in red. Let's put the 3,000 back in. Okay. Okay, well, once this balance sheet complete, there's a lot we can do to play around with it and gain a better understanding of what the balance sheet is telling us.